Yes, I'm Soren Enholm, the CEO of TCO Development, the company behind the TCO certified label. I'm very happy to be here in Korea again. I was here last year, and before that it was a long time ago. My parents used to live here at the end of the 80s, and I was here visiting them a couple of times at that time. TCO Development is a quite small company. We are 15 persons, and main part of us are based in Stockholm, Sweden. That's where we have the product development, and we manage the certification, the daily operations and administration. Then we have a marketing organization, and we have a couple of people that are based in Sweden that work with Europe. And then we have one person based in Taiwan, Taipei, working with Asia, and one person in United States working with especially USA and Canada. The purpose is to visit partners and clients of ours. The Korean brands and manufacturers have become very important in the IT industry, and we have lots of good partners here, and we have been working with them for a very long time as well. So we have a very open process to create our certifications. So it's very important for us to get input, to get feedback from the industry, from the manufacturers. We work, of course, with experts, scientists, but we want to make sure that the certifications we do are reasonable also from a manufacturing perspective. So it's very important for us to have a good information interchange with the manufacturers. We have been working with energy efficiency for a very long time, and I think in many countries in the world this is one of the main messages or main areas that companies work with in the green area. But there are also lots of other important issues, not just energy efficiency. We have, of course, the use of chemicals. And today there are lots of regulations, what chemicals you can and can't use and so on. But still there is a lot to do in this area. But I would say we have also been working with that for a long time in our certification. What we have introduced recently is more the material, packaging material and recycling and everything concerning this. We see lots of IT equipment going to third world countries and not taken care of properly. So this is a very important area for us now, which is also then a quite new area. So far we have two TCO Certified Edge criteria, and one is the use of post-consumer recycled plastics. So we have products now with 65% reused plastic in it, and we think that's an important trend to reuse material in the manufacturing processes. The most recent TCO Certified Edge criteria is halogen free, which we think also is important going forward. These halogens are not friendly to the environment, and it's very important to focus on getting rid of them. And now we see possibilities and trends doing this, and we really want to promote this. Going forward, we will see what it will be. We think, of course, energy is important. That could be one area. But it's also very important not to forget about usability. Now it's so strong focus on the environmental aspects, on being green, for instance, and there could be a risk that some manufacturers focus so much on the green aspects that they miss on the usability aspects. For instance, of course you can get energy efficiency or energy consumption down more, but maybe you would have to have lower luminance on the monitor, and that might be a usability issue. So there are lots of times trade-offs between being green and being usable, and we are all the time trying to work with these trade-offs and make sure that our certification focus on the optimal trade-off. If we look at the features or the characteristics of the latest certification, there are not that many differences compared to earlier or to the one before. We have made some requirements a little tougher, and we have added some certain things to make it even better, but it's quite small changes actually that we did in this field. I think the main part in the area of visual performance of the monitors is to not forget focusing on it. If there is too much focus on the green aspects of the monitors, maybe some characteristics about visual performance that has been good in the past might disappear going forward, and I think it's very, very important to not to forget about the visual ergonomics and visual performance. Well, I think the main thing is that we started this work at the right moment. It was a lot about timing. We were following what was happening in the IT industry, since our owner is a non-profit organization, a trade union representing office workers in Sweden, and they were very concerned about this IT equipment that were put on their desks in their offices, and they thought, oh, what is this dangerous, or could it affect my health, or something like that. The guy that started TCO Development, he thought that we should change the focus and instead start to work with the manufacturers to make sure that they improve the different characteristics of the IT products, so the office workers can use them as long as needed. Also, the engineers at the manufacturers were really interested in these aspects. It was maybe something new to them, and to get like a common understanding of what is important to work with from a usability perspective was needed. And after that, it has become something quite natural to work with, and now it's very well known all over the world, actually. Of course, we engaged experts and researchers very early, and we also had a good discussion with the engineers at the manufacturers very early. So I think we created like a good community of people that exchanged ideas together. We have engineers in the organizations which know these our focus areas for the certification very well. But of course we also need information interchange and knowledge interchange with many people in the market, and we take place in standardization work and conferences, and we have lots of contacts in universities and research institutes and yeah, also other places. So I think in especially the display community and visual ergonomics community, people know about us and we know about people. You know, we know the people that are very interested and focus on these areas. What I would like to say to both the manufacturers and the users or buyers, or it could be professional or consumer, is that they should look for the TCO certified label, since this is a sign of good performance of the product, and also that the products are good for the environment. And manufacturers can get lots of good input also for the engineering work to work together with us in these areas. If you're looking for a monitor that gives you good visual performance, and for instance, if you're into photography and you want to make sure that you have good color reproduction in your monitor, you should definitely look for the TCO certified label. That is an area that we focus on a lot. Yeah, we are also part of a research project in Sweden focusing on 3D, and we are building up knowledge in this area ourselves, and we think it's really important to understand where this technology and this concept is going forward. So far we don't have any requirements or any plans, but we are following what is happening from a what should we say, research perspective, since our certification is very much based on scientific research. So it's an important area definitely going forward. And if this will be very big in the future, we will most likely also have requirements for 3D. But it's a little early yet.